Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. Today is day 69 of doing these every single day. It's a little bit crazy thinking how consistent I've been doing this. Also, my chair says hello as it squeaks by. Hello, hello, everyone. Nice to see you all here. A lot of people in chat already. I love it. I love that we're able to talk and have a discussion and share. Like I said, this is an accountability live stream. This is a place for you to share, to be accountable, and maybe to be accountable in ways that you probably never thought you would. It might be uncomfortable at first. I know it's not that uncomfortable sharing your fasting goals or when you're losing weight or when you're doing well, but this is also a place to share the good with the bad, to be able to share when you have amazing results, but also when you're struggling and when you're having a difficult time. So I want to be able to talk about that today. And I know that a lot of people might be thinking to themselves, well, it's September 30th. Tomorrow is October 1st. I don't know if there are some of you who are in here right now that is waiting for October 1st, is waiting for tomorrow to start. Why? Hell if I know, because it's a new month. New month, new me. Maybe any of you here waiting for October 1st instead of just pushing on your journey? It would take a lot to admit that. But hey, I support you if that's what you want to do. But I'll say this like I say every time, let this be the last time that you, quote unquote, restart your journey. Stop making it your day number one. Stop restarting, because yesterday was Monday. Yesterday might have been a new start for somebody because it's Monday, because it's the beginning of the week. I get it. I've been there. I know what it's like. I've done it many times. But one of the reasons that I always talk about being on day whatever I'm at, today is actually day 695. I do keep count. There's no starting over. There's no waiting till Monday. There's no waiting until the 1st, because thinking that way and behaving that way is a slippery slope. It's that all or nothing mentality that gets to many of us. But regardless, I know that goals are important for people. I know that sometimes it's motivating in that way. So I thought, okay, let's put some goals together. Let me think of a way that I can put some goals for myself for the month of October. So I'm going to share that. I'll ask you all as well. Do you have goals for, did I say September? Do you have goals for October? September is almost over. Today's the last day of September. So goals for October. I'm going to go over mine. Tell me what yours are. Do you have any goals for this upcoming month? Will it be the last time that you start over? Maybe that's a goal as well, to stop starting over in that way. Before I begin, I'm going to scroll way up here because I know many of you were already in chat. But Maggie May, Kevin, Elmadas, who else is in here? Adeline, For the Good. Goodness, all of you chatting in here. Miss Peaceful One. I love that you're all chatting with each other. Ian, I have to like scroll so far down. Manla, Portia, hello. Mrs. Angeles. Goodness. Megan, loud, low, and slow. Hello. Sleck, hello. Margaret from Facebook, hello. Did I say Ian already? Hi, Ian. Either way. Jan from Facebook. Jan, go to sleep. Jan says it's 3 in the morning. How would I say that? Magtulog na? Is that right? Or is it? I always get the verb tenses wrong. Anyway, Jan, glad to have you, but hopefully you're getting your rest as well. Sydney, hello. BMJ, how's it going? Randall, I see you in there. Tanisha, hello, hello. Aisha, hi. Devon, welcome. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to see all of you here. Hello. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in. And maybe what I'll do too is we'll go through some comments here. I love to see when people share. Kevin says, hello, fasting fam. I'm 63 hours into a 155 hour. I'm in the zone and getting so much stuff done today. Congrats, Kevin, on pushing another prolonged fast. I love that for you. Keep it going. Maggie is 46 hours into her fast. Maggie, I love that. How's it feeling? Feeling good, hopefully? Nice to see you pushing a fast there. I'm just scrolling down. Adeline says, I'm glad I went back to my fasting schedule. I'm glad you did. I struggled last night, ate a few nuts, and continued. I haven't completed a 36-hour fast in a month. I'm so happy I'm back on schedule. I'm happy for you. And this is what, and I say this a lot, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about imperfect consistency. Every day is going to be a challenge for many of us. Every day is going to be a day that you have to be aware of what you're doing. Instead of throwing away the day, instead of saying, well, the hell with it. I mean, it takes a lot for people to share what their journey is like, especially when they're struggling. And for Adeline to say, I struggled last night, ate a little bit, but continued. So I love that for you, Adeline. Is it Adeline or Adeline? It's probably Adeline, yeah? You'll have to keep me posted so I can say it properly next time. Adeline, keep going. Thank you for sharing your struggles with us. Thanks for being vulnerable in that way. For the Good says, hey all, today's refeed wasn't bad, but definitely overate. Started with eggs, tuna, avocado, rice cakes for a snack, then a huge bowl of soup and 3 boiled eggs. Started my timer. And this is what I'm talking about as well when it comes to vulnerability. Sometimes we overeat. It's not the worst thing in the world. I just put a video out earlier today where I said, if you end up overeating, if you end up eating more than you thought you would, if you broke early on your fast and you ate, then put the calories to use. Take advantage of the extra calories you ate. Go for a run. Go lift weights. I mean, why wouldn't you take advantage of having those extra calories? Because I know the all or nothing mindset for many of us is like, well, I ate, so what's the use of doing X, Y, and Z? That's nonsense. You put extra calories in you. Why wouldn't you put it to use? For the Good, thank you for sharing with us. Miss Peaceful One says, hey, I missed you all yesterday. Due to a parent-teacher conference, I finished my 120-hour fast. Miss Peaceful One, I love that for you. I know when Miss Peaceful One said that that's what they were attempting, and here we are, 120 hours later, completed. I finished at 133 hours, 4 pounds down. Congrats. I've completed my refeed, and I'm back at it. I love that. And says, I'm going to fast until my body tells me otherwise. Cheers to hashtag pushing when you can. Hashtag let's go. I love that for you. Congrats. Congrats, Miss Peaceful One. Thomas says, not a great week so far. Wanted to do a prolonged fast. Or Tommy, right? Tommy says, not a great week so far. Wanted to do a prolonged fast and couldn't get past 24 hours each day. But I didn't quit. Thanks, Jerome. Hashtag this fasting shit is different. Tommy, I mean, for you to still put a 24-hour or 23-hour is still progress. That is still working on your fasting muscle, building your fasting muscle. That is still continued practice for you to be aware of what you're doing instead of throwing away the day. This is continued practice for you to be like, okay, I'm breaking at 23 hours, but can I keep my refeed in check? Can I keep my refeed clean? Can I keep my calories in check? Because those are things you're still going to have to practice anyway. For many people who think 3-day fast, 5-day fast, 7-day fast, 14-day fast, whatever that might look like, that's great. You want to push a long fast? Do it. Nothing is stopping you from doing it as long as you can healthily do it, as long as you can function normally. But the moment that you can't do a long fast, you better start working on the other levers of weight loss. So, Tommy, thanks for sharing. I wouldn't even say that it's not a great week. If you didn't fast for as long and you were still able to take care of yourself in a different way, if you were still able to break bad habits, if you were still able to contribute to building on good, healthy habits, I would look at that as a win. A reminder for many of us is like, don't look at failure or don't look at bad days as just complete failures all the time, because it's not really failure. It's more, you're putting this shit into practice every day. That's how I look at it. Whether I break early, whether I overeat, whether I eat 2 days in a row, whether I forget to get my steps in, it's an opportunity for me to learn from myself. Why did I do what I did? Could have I done it better? Instead of just beating myself up, did I use other tools in my tool belt to help offset breaking early, to help offset eating a little extra? I mean, you can also have the negative route and beat yourself up, but where does that lead you? For most people, it ends up leading you to overeat. It ends up leading you to reinforce your bad, toxic behaviors. I'm going to scroll down here. I might just see if there are any other tidbits of content. And I know I can't get to everyone. I know I can't talk to everybody, but if I can point a thing out here and there, I'd love to be able to. Ian says, I'd love to be in the 240s by the end of October. My lowest was 242 pounds back in 2021. And I'll say this, Ian, I would love to see you do that as well. That's a great goal. But here's an even better goal, is by the end of October, what I would love to see, just like I would love to see from anybody who is in here right now and wants to challenge themselves, wants to do something good for themselves for the month of October, as much as I would love to see you in the 240s by the end of October or even under that, what I would love is to just see you show up for the next 31 days and be like, hey, Jerome, here's me hitting the timer. Hey, Jerome, here's me working on a fast. Hey, Jerome, here's me. I wasn't able to fast that long, but I worked on the way I ate. I continued to show up. I continued to show up for myself. That's what I would love to see. And I don't just mean this for Ian. I mean this for anybody who's in here right now. You want to do an October challenge with me? You want to show up for yourself? Don't worry about what the number on the scale is. Don't worry about how long you fast for. Don't worry about eating perfectly every single day for the month of October. Instead, show up, be accountable, take the good with the bad. When was the last time, if anyone's in here, when was the last time you were able to accept imperfection? When was the last time you were able to be in here and be like, yeah, it was a bad day, but you know what? I didn't throw it away. And I'm seriously asking that question. How many of you have, how long has it been since you've had a bad day and you've said, but I didn't throw away the day? Because many of us who have all or nothing thinking don't even think that way. For us, it's do it perfectly or don't do it at all. And you're talking to somebody who acts that way or who has acted that way for a long time. It still happens from time to time. I still get in my head about it from time to time, but it's nowhere near where it used to be. And that is why I'm very successful for where I'm at today. I mean, I'll say this, and I have this up as a slide, but my month of September, this month so far, when I look at my calories in, calories out, it went the wrong way. Let's just cut that story, or let's just get that story out of the way. I mean, I'm going to show you all, but I consumed more calories than I expended this month. But do I look at this month as a failure? No. I look at this month as an opportunity to learn about, okay, I didn't really gain a ton. I didn't really lose a ton. I kind of stayed stagnant for the month of September, but it was a really great month for me because I put a lot of practice into my diet. I put a lot of practice into, instead of fasting for 4 days, 3 days, to just fast every other day and continue working on my diet. That's a big change for me. For me to be able to fast for less and eat more often and not have the scale push up, for me to not go overboard is a huge win, because you all know that I'm very capable of doing 90-hour fasts and finding success doing 90-hour fasts while still eating 6,000 calories. The one thing that I haven't even proven to myself yet is to do shorter fasts and keep the calories under control. So if you want like a glimpse of what my October goals are going to be, that's pretty much what I'm sharing with you right now. Ian, I would love for you to get to your goals, but at the same time, I would love for you to show up regardless. Many of us who are in here right now, we are thinking about, when I get to this weight, when I fast for this long, if I eat this way. And I think the reality of it is, those are all great goals, and I want people to achieve hard things. I want people to do amazing things. But I would also love, what I would love to see is on October 31st, when I live stream on October 31st, people come in here and be like, I showed up for myself every single day. I showed up for myself even on the bad days. I still put some effort in, even on the bad days, even on the days that I struggled. Remember, my goal is to be happy and healthy, but I'm a little selfish too, because the other goals that I have is for you to find that as well. I want this for you. I want you to be able to get out of your head and start accepting the fact that imperfection is part of the process. Having bad days and struggling is part of the process. When I say that I'm greedy and selfish in that way, what I'm saying is, what I found for myself, that imperfection that I've been willing to accept, I want you to be able to accept that. I want you to be like, I figured it out. I'm okay with this now. This is what was missing, was the accountability piece, was the accountability piece, was the, yeah, it wasn't a perfect day, but I still moved on. Okay. There's so many people in chat. I love it. I can't get to everyone, but I will try to go through other chat as we move forward. I'll go through, if anybody wants to share things, I will occasionally go through, but we have to share nerd stats. I have to tell you about yesterday because I have to be accountable in my way. I also have to really pee, like really, really have to pee. So you're going to have to give me like 1 minute while I pop out of this office and use the bathroom. So I will be right back. So just hold on 1 minute. Okay. Okay. I apologize, everyone. I'm sorry. I really had to pee. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's begin. Let's talk about yesterday. So today is Tuesday, September 30th. Today is the last day of September, but today is day 695 of my journey. Today is 695 days of imperfect consistency. Today is almost 700 days of showing up for myself, whether good or bad. If you're here right now because you're telling yourself, tomorrow's October 1st, I'm going to start tomorrow because it's the first of the month, I love that for you, but let it be the last time. Let it be the last time you day one your shit. Let it be the last time you say, I'm going to start over. This is why I share what day I'm at, because there's no more starting over. There's no more looking at this as, well, I fucked up today, might as well start tomorrow. No more of that. Enough of that. You don't have to put yourself in that kind of misery, cycling over and over and over again. In the last 69 days, since I have been live streaming, because I've been live streaming now for 69 days in a row, 2+ months, I have had a mix of short fasts, some long fasts. You'll see mostly ADF. You'll see 9 rounds of ADF, 4 rounds of ADF, 11 rounds of ADF. You'll see other times where I'll eat 7,500 calories and gain 7 pounds. You'll see days where I fast for 93 hours and lose 10 pounds. You'll see me go on vacation where some of those days on vacation, I'll eat 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories. During my most recent stint of doing ADF, Devon says, what's ADF? Alternate day fasting. So just to give you a quick look into it, ADF is fasting every other day, eating every other day, meaning that you can look at ADF as fasting every 36 hours. Fast for at least 36 hours, eat. So somebody like me on an ADF schedule would fast Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and eat Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so on and so forth. Now, it doesn't mean that I do ADF forever. Some days I'll do ADF and then I'll eat back-to-back days. Some days I'll push a longer fast. For Devon, who maybe might be newer here, I say this because I don't want you to be fixed to one fasting goal. Don't think that you're going to be in here saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 90-hour fasts, 72-hour fasts, 120-hour fasts, and that is the number I have to get to, and that's the only number that matters. It's a reminder for people that you should be flexibly fasting, that you should be taking a look at your life and realizing that as human beings, as social beings, as people who interact with other people, sometimes we're going out for the weekend. Sometimes we're going on vacation. Sometimes we have a work event. Sometimes we have unexpected shit that happens that throws us off. But to me, the way I look at it is you hit your timer, you fast, you feast, and then you do it again. Whatever that time frame looks like. So in the last 69 days, some long fasts, some short fasts, some days where I eat 4,000 calories, some days where I eat 7,000 calories, some days where I go on vacation. But throughout this time, I've continued to lose 30 pounds and keep it off over the last 69 days. So we'll throw a disclaimer out here because yesterday was my refeed day, everyone. Yesterday was the day I ate after breaking a 42.5-hour fast. I'm just looking at my notes here. And my goal yesterday was to keep my calories under 3,000. Was I able to do it? Well, let's take a look. Oh, wait, I forgot to add my refeed video. So let's do that real quick. Give me 1 second while I find that and throw that in here. Okay. Yesterday's refeed. Here we go. No, that's not the right. Here we go. I was saying there's a disclaimer because if any of you feel triggered by the way I eat or feel triggered when you watch somebody eat, I would say you might dip out for the next 5-10 minutes. So I want to at least talk about my refeed because this is a good way for me to be accountable and share with you all how I eat, whether I have a good day of eating or I overeat. So yesterday's refeed, I started with pineapple and cottage cheese. It is not everybody's favorite thing to eat, but I really do like the combo. I usually have been doing fruit at the very beginning now while I wait for my other vegetables and meat to cook. So this was about, I think, 300-ish grams of pineapple and about 200-ish grams of cottage cheese as I try to shove all of that in my mouth. Sydney says, oh my God, for some reason I can't stand cottage cheese. It's okay. I totally get it. I know it's not for everyone. Later on, I had mushrooms. The vegetables, the timing when I did this was all off. So you'll see a lot of randomness on here. Deja says, let's get a Jerome mukbang video. Would you guys actually want to see that? I know other people say that, but I thought about maybe doing one live one day. Maybe I'll do a live refeed one day for many of you who are wondering if I really eat the way I eat. Anyway, so I had mushrooms. I think this is like around 200 grams, so about half a pound, not a ton. We'll cut to the next scene. Brussels sprouts. This shouldn't be surprising for people who know me. Brussels sprouts, one of my favorite things to eat. I love eating this. This is about a pound of Brussels sprouts. I did eat this with some balsamic vinegar, not a ton, just kind of dipping through it. I don't know. It's just such a weird shot of me eating. And then I had carrots. This is not something I typically eat. I really wanted something different. This wasn't a lot. This was about, I don't know, 10 ounces of carrots. But so I did have carrots. I roasted it up really good. I had corn. I'm on a big corn fix lately. I've been eating a lot of corn. There was butter in here. It's so good. Corn is like, I think I could eat corn all day. I have to be very careful about how much I eat. This was about 200 grams as well, maybe 225, something like that. And then after this, I had, okay, so this is a bowl of white rice, cherry tomatoes, and it's Italian sausage, but this is turkey Italian sausage. So every turkey Italian sausage, I can't even believe it's only 130 calories per sausage. Usually the Italian sausage I eat is like around 270 calories. So this is about half the calories. And I ended up eating 5 of them. I ended up eating the entire package. I actually bought 2 packages, and I'll probably eat more on my next refeed because the calories were just so low. So Almada says, I hate sweet corn the most. I don't know. I just, it also shows how different many of us are here. So after the rice and the meat, I ate what I normally eat here. This is a combination of, this is a combination of, if you know me, if you've watched my refeeds, you know that I love pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is like my favorite dessert. I have been trying to find a way to like satisfy my sweet tooth instead of just eating straight up pumpkin pie. So this is a concoction of Jell-O sugar-free vanilla pudding, milk, protein powder, canned pumpkin, pumpkin pie spice, and Biscoff cookies. Has a lot of protein in it. It's still pretty high in calories, but it has a lot more protein, and it really hits my sweet tooth. And it's just a really good refeed for me. So that was my refeed yesterday. My goal yesterday was to keep my calories under 3,000. I have had a lot of trouble with that lately because I have just been going over and finding myself overeating. But if we look at my last 10 refeeds and you look at the very last bullet there, it's not even a bullet, but if you look at the very last marking there, 929 yesterday, I kept my calories under 3,000. I'm so proud of myself, everyone. I kept my calories under 3,000. I kept my protein above 190. And compared to the last refeed at 6,800 and before that at 4,300, it's a big win for me. I think many of you know that the refeed is the hard part for me. I can easily put down 5,000 calories, 8,000 calories. It's easy for me. And so for me to keep my calories under 3,000 is a big win. It's also a big win because this is something that I have been trying to do time and time again. For all of you who are in here, right? I have been doing a ADF challenge for the month of September, eating every other day, fasting every other day. And even though I could easily push a longer fast, I chose not to on purpose so that I could continue working on my calories, to continue working on eating better. Even though I know it's hard for me, because I know that I have to continue working on it. I know I have to get good at that because I want to also be good at everything that I do. I want to be good at fasting. I want to be good at exercise. I want to be good at keeping my calories under control every now and then. So if we look at my last 10 refeed weights and my last 10 fasted weights, you'll see that, look at the last bullet. This morning, I weighed in at 148 pounds even. Because I kept the calories low, it wasn't even a 3-pound gain. But you'll see on my other refeed days, I've gained 5 pounds, 7 pounds, right? Anywhere between 4 to 6 pounds is my usual gain. I was so happy to step on the scale this morning and not even push up 3 pounds because I know that tomorrow when I step on the scale after a 24+ hour fast, I'll probably drop a good amount and I'll find myself back under the 145s and now trying to work on getting into the low 140s. But look at the stability of this weight over the last 3 weeks here. It's just a lot of 140s. My stability of weight has kept somewhere between like 142 to like 148. And that's a testament of being able to just fast every other day and eat every other day to keep my weight pretty steady. That might not be impressive to some people, especially people who might not know my journey, but that's super impressive to me because I am somebody that cannot control my calories. Although it looks like I've been able to do so a lot better now than I used to. So while people might be more amazed at my initial journey of losing 80 pounds in less than 5 months, and don't get me wrong, that's amazing. I pride myself on being able to do that. But I think what's more impressive is that my journey has evolved over time. And this is also for all of you. You might be really good at pushing along fast at the very beginning, but eventually your journey is going to have to evolve. You are going to have to find the other weak points in your journey, the weak points in your game. Think about it even in terms of a gamified way of doing this. Where are your strong points? What are you good at? You know that game NBA Jam where it shows you like your energy bar, or not your energy bar, but like where your skill set is when it comes to 3-point shooting or dunking or rebounding or defense. If I was a character and it was like fasting, my fasting bar would be all the way at the top. And then exercise wouldn't be all the way at the top, but it would be up there. Sleep would be not the best. But my diet, oh my God, my diet would be awful. It would be awful. And I know that I have to continue working on that. That part I have to keep practicing. I have to keep getting better at. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the support as always. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat says, good job staying below 3,000 calories. I appreciate that. Thank you. We love to see it. Hashtag progress over perfection. And I completely agree. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the support as always. I appreciate you. I love to see it too. For me to be able to keep my calories down, it's just, I look at it as an evolution in my journey. For any of you watching this right now, think about it like that. Do not come in here thinking I have to fast for 7 days, for 5 days over and over. You can keep that as a goal. That's great if that's what you want to do. But also realize that, are you in it for a quick fix? You can be, but I know that even if you're in it for a quick fix, most of us are also trying to do this for the long term. We want to be in this for the long run, because who wouldn't? Why would you just want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, and then gain it all back? Your goal should be to continue to be happy and healthy in the best way that you can. So let me help you get there. Continue working on your journey. Realize that the evolution of your journey isn't just to fast. Your evolution is to maybe get to fast longer every now and then, but your evolution should also be to take a look at the other things that you might not be good at. Your eating, if your refeeding time is 12 hours and you snack in between the day, if you find yourself secretly hiding food, eating emotionally, if you're somebody that does no exercise at all and doesn't even think about strength training or maintaining your muscle, if you're that has awful sleep and finds themselves doom scrolling at night, keeping the phone next to them in bed, having the phone fall on their face as they're scrolling. I mean, that's been me. I've been there. I've done it. Your health and happiness isn't just one specific thing. There are many layers to this. There are many levers to work. and you need to use those levers to your advantage. Continue working on every weight loss lever that you have. Before I kind of cut back in, I'm just going to maybe scroll back up here and just maybe go through a couple other comments. I know many of you are on here, so I want to make sure that you feel like you're not alone. I mean, you're not alone. We're all doing this together. Mandla says, tomorrow's the last day of taking antibiotics. I feel stronger, just in time to commit to a challenge. Starting ADFs for the month of October. Hashtag building my fasting muscle. So like Mandla, even for you, advice when it comes to this, your goal is to do ADFs for the month of October. That's great. I'd love to see it. The way I look at this though too is if there is a day in October that it's not ADF, don't beat yourself up. It doesn't mean that now the challenge ends. All it means is, okay, maybe the goal then is to do as many ADFs as you can for the month of October, or to think about what your other goals are too. Don't let your only goal be doing ADFs. What are your other goals? Do you have goals when it comes to keeping your calories in check? Do you have goals to when it comes to eating more mindfully, making better decisions, not ordering Grubhub or DoorDash or going through drive-through or limiting the number? And that's the thing too. When it comes to these challenges, it doesn't mean just restricting forever, because we have to make this sustainable. We have to make this long-term. You have to do things that are still enjoyable. But Mamba, what am I trying to say? I encourage you to think about what your other goals are as well. I mean, I would love for you to do ADFs. You'll have to keep me posted. What would make me more happy? What would make me happier for you and anyone else is that on October 31st, when we are finishing the month of October, you'll be like, hey, Jerome, I stuck it through. Even though I maybe was planning to do this, I still continue to do this as well. Not saying that you're not going to be able to do it. I just want you to have big goals for the long term. So keep me posted. I'm just looking at chat. Shauna, hi Shauna. Hi everyone, so glad to be here and see you. I'm sad and stressed and fasting, but I'm here. I'll go home and work out and find some non-food self-care. And I'm sorry that, you know, you're in a place right now where you're stressed out and you're sad. And I mean, if I'm reading this correctly, you're still fasting. You aren't using food as a coping mechanism. And this is a hard thing too, because many of us use food as a coping mechanism. Many of us use food to stress eat. Many of us use food to emotionally eat. And it takes a lot to break out of that habit. And even for Shauna to share this, the one reality for many of us as well is, even if you're able to fast or eat healthy one day because you're feeling emotionally stressed or anxious about work or whatever it might be, also know that there are probably going to be days where you might not be able to be successful doing that. I mean, Shauna, congratulations to you on still keeping a fasted state while being this way. I look at it as you rewiring your brain at this very moment to reinforce the habit of, I don't have to use food to cope. And my hope, just like me and just like anyone else, is reinforcing that habit will make that habit stronger, will make sure that as time passes, the frequency of you using food to cope becomes less and less and less. So even just having a moment like this is huge. For to talk about finding non-food self-care is a really big call out there too. For many of us, think about what your quote unquote reward systems look like. Non-food self-care could be many things. Non-food self-care could be taking a bath, taking a nap, going for a walk, meditating, and even some other ways of self-care that maybe might not be the most productive, which could be, for me, sometimes it's, oh, you know what? I'm not feeling the best, but I don't want to cope with food. But you know what? There's a movie I've been wanting to watch. Maybe I'm going to spend a couple dollars and rent it. That could be a different reward system. A different reward system could be like, well, I typically don't drink a Diet Coke or a Diet 7-Up or whatever that might be, but maybe this time around I'll have one because it's still a lot better than just breaking completely or eating shitty. Sometimes a reward is still eating, but you're eating clean or cleaner, or it doesn't have to go one complete end or the other. Other rewards too could be like a massage, could be self-care in that type of way. There are a lot of ways around this other than food. Most of us go to food because we are looking for a quick fix. We want something convenient. We want something that will give us that dopamine hit as quickly as possible. And you have to break yourself out of that habit. Shauna, thank you for sharing with us. I hope that you start feeling better. And I know you will. I know you will. A lot of that just takes time. So keep pushing. Proud of you. Because I know Shauna has been in here, and Shauna was pretty much doing the ADF challenge with me. Was one of the only people I think that's continued to tell me I'm still in it with you. So keep us posted, Shauna. Thank you for sharing. Shauna also says, I'm so excited. I've got my pumpkin pie substitute ingredients on the way. I did read your chats on that, so you'll have to tell me how it tastes. I'm looking forward to that. Sorry, everyone. I'm just reading through this. Old school football plays says fasting is super hard. I have trouble fasting with family near me all the time. And this is also a very common thing, old school. So I think for many people who have families or for people who cook for other people, I know they'll probably be chiming in here. And if you haven't, please feel free to chime in and share a little bit about what your experience is like if you are trying to fast with other people. I mean, me currently, I'm not living alone right now, and there's food everywhere and other people eating. And so I have to continue fighting that as well, seeing other people do that. I do think this is something that takes practice, old school. It also doesn't mean that you have to fast for days. I don't know what your fasting routine is like, but maybe it just means getting 16-hour fasts in, 20-hour fasts in, especially if that's not something that you do regularly. Maybe it's just saying, hey, I do want to eat with my family, but maybe just for dinner. It doesn't have to be lunch, snack, dinner, dessert. Maybe it's just one dinner and then you're good. You hit your timer and then you go again. Keep us posted, old school. Hopefully that's helpful. Hi, Sarah from Facebook. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. And Sarah says here, I'm doing OMAD during the week and working out 5 to 6 days a week. So even as Sarah says this, it's not just fasting, but it's also working out. And for Sarah to say, still have issues with portion control. Goal is to fast for longer or ADF and eat a lot less. So working out, one lever. Fasting, one lever. But also realizing, right, that issues with portion control and trying to work on eating less, working 3 different levers there. So I love that Sarah is, 1, being transparent and sharing, but 2, realizing it isn't just about fasting. It can be, you can fast for longer, just like Sarah says, but also to know that I still have to work on my eating. That's still an important part for her. Keep going, Sarah. Thank you for sharing with us. Wow. Hi, Nash. It's been a minute. Nash, it's nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nash says, going great on my habit stacking and building a very strong system that will get me to where I want to be. My greatest success yet is finally letting go of the all or nothing mentality. It took me years. This is something I don't want to maybe share too much because obviously, I don't want to bring too much stuff out here, but, Nash has shared. And so I'll just say that Nash and I have worked together for some time. And one of the things that Nash has about herself is that she's also had a very all or nothing personality, always going from one extreme or the other. And just like I have been trying to share with people here every day, something that I have dealt with for a long time as well. And sometimes it just takes getting yourself out of that mentality to really figure out, okay, what can I do for myself that is still a win? Nash talks about habit stacking, which is thinking about the things that you do that are good for you. And for me, when Nash talks about habit stacking and I think about habit stacking, every morning when I wake up, I go for a walk. When I go for my walk, I also do language learning. That's me stacking habits on top of each other. I go for a walk because it's good for my cardio health. I do language learning because I'm trying to learn new languages. At the same time, when I go for walks outside, it's a good mental clarity for me. I'm outside in nature, even though it's Chicago, I still walk by the lake. I am up early where it's a lot more quiet. It's peaceful time for me. It's stress relieving for me. It's therapeutic for me. They're good, healthy habits. Nash talks about building a very strong system, and that system is also built out of routine. I tell all of you this. On the days that I get up in the morning, I get up, step on the scale, or I go to the bathroom, step on the scale, walk out the door, go for my walk. If I refed the night before, regardless if I ate 3,000 calories or 9,000 calories, what do I do when I wake up in the morning? I get up, I go to the bathroom, I step on the scale, I walk out the door, I go for my walk, I go lift weights because I always lift weights the day after a refeed, or at least when I do ADF. I've built a routine, but in a lot of ways, this is also my system. This is the system that I continue working on because it's important for me to have a routine like that because it really, and I just had a coaching session earlier today. I don't know if they're watching, but if you are, you know what I'm talking about, is every morning when I go for a walk, it sets the day for me. It sets the tone of the day for me. Nash, thank you for sharing, and thank you for even talking about how your biggest success is letting go of the all or nothing mentality. And I say this too, it's not like the all or nothing mentality goes away completely. I think many of us still find ourselves thinking that way, but the more you show up for yourself every day, the more that I feel those types of behaviors start to dissipate. But like I was saying, when I get up in the morning and I go for my walk and I do what I'm supposed to be doing, it really sets the tone of the day. I know what it's like to binge the night before and eat 10,000 calories, if not more, to spend $100, $150 on DoorDash or Grubhub, to literally lie in my own filth with food wrappers and bottles all around me, just didn't care. I know what that's like. And I know what it's like to wake up the next day and not go for a walk and look at the filth around me and just be like, I guess I'll do one more day of this because today's Sunday and might as well start on Monday. That's the all or nothing part of me. And that's been a very hard part of me to shake. So for me to be where I'm at today, even though some of my days aren't perfect, huge success for me, huge success. Deja says, Jerome, hit my record weight of 174. Deja, congratulations. My goal of hitting 165 by the end of the year is so close it hurts. I love that for you, Deja. Can't self-sabotage now. Thanks to you and this live stream, I've achieved so much with accountability. That's awesome, Deja. Congratulations. I love this for you too, because just a reminder, like whether you hit 165 or not, and I'm not saying that you won't, but I want you to just remember it's progress. Every single day is progress. Even if on December 31st or January 1st, your number is 165.1, and I know you know this, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's just another day of progress. So I love that for you. I love that you are being accountable and showing up in that way. Yeah, no room to self-sabotage. At this point, it's just to get the work done. Just keep working on yourself. It makes me happy. It makes me fulfilled to hear that people are finding success with this, that people are telling themselves not every day has to be complete all or nothing days. So Deja, keep it up. Please let me know when you hit 165. I love that for you. Congrats, Deja. Congrats. Thanks for sharing with us. Okay, everyone, I know I need to really continue on with my nerd stats. What's going on, Eric? Nice to see you. Spike, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you being here. So let's get back to the nerd stats. I shared all of my refeed. So let's talk about what these refeed stats look like. In my last 32 refeeds, my average refeed time is around 5 hours. My average calories have pushed itself down now, still way more than I want it to be, but that's okay. It doesn't stop my journey. Average protein per refeed, over 200. Really good with that number there. It's more than just fasting. Obviously, it's the way I eat, my cardio, my strength training, my sleep. I talk to you all about this every day. My daily step average is still way over my goal. In the last 69 days, my daily step average is close to 16,000 steps. Yesterday's step count, 14,459. It wasn't the 15,000 that I was aiming for, but does it mean I'm going to start over? No. I mean, that's very close to 15,000. I'm not going to beat myself up over that. Strength training the following morning after a refeed. That's exactly what I did this morning. I woke up this morning. I refed last night. I walked 40 minutes, walked to the gym, lifted heavy. Actually, today was a really good lifting session, and then did another 40-minute walk back. And it's not like I even live 40 minutes away from the gym. I just take a longer route because I have the time in the morning to do that. And I just continue on. So it's been a pretty good month for me, but I know that I have more work to do. I abide by something that I call the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I am keeping my calories in check. 80% of the time I am going to the gym, lifting weights, going for my walks. In the last 69 days of my journey, if you look at the 80% days, I just saw a color pop up on my screen. It's a huge donation, so I have to stop. Jack, I haven't seen Jack in a minute. Jack with a $20 super chat. Jack, thank you for the generous support. Thank you for the generous donation. I appreciate the huge donation, Jack. Thank you so much. Jack with a $20 donation says, showing back up, being accountable. I love that for you, Jack. Thank you for being here. Got on the scale this morning, 223.8. My routine going forward is OMAD fruit only till I'm below 200. After that, every other OMAD will be low fat with meat. I'll say the weight every day in here. And I mean, these are great goals, Jack. I love that for you. Jack, again, thank you again for the $20 donation. I appreciate that. I'm gonna put this out here just like I do for anyone else here as well. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your accountability with us. The routine going forward sounds great to me. It sounds real clean. At the same time, I just want you to remember, if you feel that one day it's too restrictive, or you feel like in one day it's not working for you, it's okay. It's okay to do something different. It's okay to be imperfect with your plan. Don't be so set on the plan and it only has to be that way, right? I said this to many other people here earlier as well. What I would love to see, Jack, is I'd love to see you show up every day and just keep us posted, whether it's a perfect day, if it's a day that you followed to the T or not. The way I look at this too is it's okay to have days where it might not be according to what you wanted it to be. And instead, can you show up for the imperfect days? Can you show up for the days that might not be the best? I'm not saying that you can't do it. That's not that's not what I'm trying to summarize here. What I'm trying to help people with is to kind of get their heads out of it has to be this way and this is the plan and this is the only plan. So I want you to hit your goals. I would love for you to be able to be like, Jerome, I'm still on it. I'm still on it. Here's where I'm at. So please continue to show up. I just want you to show up no matter what. Jack, thank you again for the $20 donation. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So getting back to the 80-20, in the last 69 days of my journey, and pretty much just to show as well that yes, 80% of the time I do what I should be doing, but this isn't a 100-0 rule. This isn't an all or nothing rule. This is a rule of, hey, 80% of the time, I'm going to be doing what I should be doing. In the last 69 days of my journey, 57 of those 69 days have been 80% days where my calorie intake on my refeeds are around 3,100 calories. And then you'll see the 20% days. In the last 69 days, 12 of those days have been 20% days. Close to 6,000 calories, which is way more than I wanted to be, double the amount I wanted to be. But look at the frequency of those 20% days. It's only 12 days out of that time. It isn't every single day. That 80-20 rule is around 83-17 at this point. Obviously, it's the good days outweigh the quote unquote bad days. And really those bad days for me, a lot of those bad days, quote unquote, were planned. Those were days I was going out anyway. Those were days I was going to a Cubs game, grabbing dinner with friends, grabbing drinks with people. My refeed goals moving forward for now is to keep my calories under 3,000 and to have at least 190 grams of protein. Simple. Not much when it comes to that. Keep my calories in check, keep my protein over 190 grams. And those are my refeed goals. Whether I fast for 3 days, fast every other day. And honestly, if I were to do OMAD and eat every day right now, I would be fine with this number, keeping it under 3,000. I know that I can't eat 3,000 every single day because there's no way that I burn that many calories per day. But for now, I still think this is a good goal to keep myself at. You'll see at the very bottom there, highlighted in green, I was able to achieve that yesterday. Will I do that tomorrow? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what that looks like. But let's talk about goals for October, okay? If you're in here right now because you have big plans for the month of October, please share with us. But remember, if you have plans for October, if October is your day one, let it be the last time. Stop with this. You don't have to start every first of the month. You don't have to start every Monday. You don't have to throw away the day, the week, the month with this. You don't have to be tied to a certain way of fasting. You don't have to be tied to a certain way of eating. You don't have to be tied to a certain way of exercise. There are too many people that are trying to religiously stick to one way of eating, one way of fasting. Oh, you can't fast this way. Oh, you can't eat this way. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. We're human beings. We go out. I can't imagine going to a wedding and then just eating perfectly. I can't imagine going on vacation and just eating perfectly. You're not a robot. Why would you even live that way? Is it sustainable? Is it long term? Those are the real questions you should be asking yourself. Can you do this long term? Can it be sustainable for the long run? Some of you might be watching this and you might be like, yeah, I could do that forever. Really? Have you? How long have you been doing it for? I mean, when I talk about my journey, I've been doing this, today's day 695. My journey has changed over time. The way I eat has changed over time. The way I fasted has changed over time. My journey hasn't been the same for the last 695 days, and I'm okay with that. This is why I tell people, stop worrying about what that number looks like at the end of your journey. Stop worrying about if you get a long fast in. Stop worrying about if you eat perfectly. All you need to do is show up and be accountable. That's where it counts. That's where it matters. Of course, you can use tools to help you eat better. We all know what healthy eating looks like. We all know what fasting for a long time is going to do. We know that. You don't need me for that. But the hard part is accepting the fact that you're imperfect. I feel like many of us struggle with that. Many of us think that if it isn't the best fast, if it isn't the cleanest way of eating, then it's pointless. I'm going to start over. I'm going to go eat the foods that I wasn't supposed to eat and then start over. And if that's what you're doing, you really need to rethink if you're restricting yourself too much. That goes the same for fasting for an extended period of time. If you aren't able to fast for as long and you find yourself, quote unquote, starting over, going on the nothing route, sabotaging yourself, you need to start asking yourself, am I restricting too much? Am I doing the all or nothing bit? Because maybe you're in a place where you don't want to admit that. So I'm going to share with you all what my goals for October is. And it's a lot different. If you look at what I have here, the month of October doesn't even have a fasting goal. There are no fasting goals for the month of October for me, which probably sounds absurd because literally fasting is what I do. Does it mean I'm not going to fast? Of course not. I'm still going to fast. But I'm not going to say I'm going to do 80F for the entire month of October. I'm going to do 90-hour fasts for the month of October. I'm going to do 65s for the month of October. Not this time. It's time for me to evolve. It's time for me to change. It's time for me to get better at my other goals. But I'll break this down. My goal for October is to put myself in a caloric deficit of at least 10,500 for the month, or 3 pounds of fat. How can I say this? Being in a 10,500 caloric deficit means that I have to be in a deficit of about 340 calories a day. If I were to eat every single day, because my TDEE is 2,300 calories every day, I would have to eat about 1960 calories a day. But what this means for me too is that I will continue counting calories. I will continue being mindful of my calorie count on a day-to-day basis because I've realized that it's really helped me on my journey. If you look at what my deficit was for the month of September, I actually was over my calories by 3,500. That's about a pound of fat right there. So I know I lost a good amount of weight since I've started my journey overall. I know that when I started doing these live streams every day over the last 69 days, over the last 2 months, the month of August was a lot better than September. Most of the weight I lost was during the month of August because I was fasting much longer. I wasn't doing 80F. But when I look at this goal, when I look at being over calories in the month of September, being 3,500 calories over for the month of September, I don't look at that as a loss. I don't look at that as a failure. I look at that as the month of September, I was on vacation for the first week. The month of September, I was only fasting every other day. The month of September, I had a lot of 20% days. I look at that and I'm like, I'm able to fast for less and keep the calories in check. And what I need to do now for the month of October is see if I can continue fasting for less and continue to keep the calories in check. Does it mean I'm never going to do a longer fast again? No. I'm actually going to be doing a longer fast later this week, but I'll talk about that later in the week. But I don't plan on doing a bunch of long fasts. I do plan on doing continued ADFs. Am I going to do it for the entire month of October? I don't know. Maybe I might eat some back-to-back days and keep my calories in check. But I don't know just yet. We'll see what that looks like. Outside of keeping myself at a caloric deficit, losing 3 pounds of additional fat, because even if you look at, and I don't know if I have this slide here, it might not be updated. If we look, yeah, actually this isn't up. I don't know if this is completely updated, but if you look at the last 69 days of my journey, overall, I've still had less calories than I've expended, but I put myself on that caloric deficit in the first 30 days or 35 days of my journey. In the last 30 days, I've been pretty much coasting, but a lot of it is because I've been fasting for less. So if you look at where it's highlighted in green, where I'm down about 8 pounds of fat, what I'm trying to do is I want to be down an additional 3 pounds of fat, be down 11 pounds of fat. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm just trying to lose 3 more pounds on the scale, because we all know that the scale weight is different than losing actual body fat. When it shows that I've lost 8 pounds of fat, I've still lost 30 pounds on the scale. So you know that number is so different. But look at what my goals are for October. They're no longer fasting goals. Of course, I'm going to be fasting. Fasting is going to be a part of what I do. I'm just not putting a priority on it. I'll fast for whenever I need to, but it's to still be at a caloric deficit. Part of my goals are to work on keeping the refeeds under 3,000 calories and to keep the protein above 190 grams on my 80% days. My goals are still to walk 15,000 steps 6 times a week. My goal is to still strength train every morning after a refeed. Those are my goals. I don't think they're that difficult because it's something that I have been doing now for a while. Those goals are realistic goals for me. The 3,000 calorie per refeed is the hard part. We'll see if I'm able to achieve that for the month of October and be able to put myself at an additional 10,000 calorie deficit, because I know that if I can put myself at a 10,000 calorie deficit for the month of October, I will be leaner. For sure, I will be leaner because I'm getting an additional 3 pounds of body fat off of me. 3 pounds of body fat is a lot to get off of me. And I know I'll be able to see that. So those are my goal. Those are my goals for the month of October. Please feel free to share with me what your goals for October are. I will read through them later. And if you do share with me, I will say your additional goal on top of sharing with me what your goals are for October should also be to tell me, or your additional goal for October is to commit for that month, is to still show up and tell me on October 31st, Jerome, I did it for 31 days. I was accountable. Maybe you completed it to the T, but even if you didn't, even if it wasn't a perfect month for you, maybe it was an 80% month. You did it 80% of the time. That's a win. That's a huge win. Even if it means just being accountable every single day is a huge win. So if you do want to commit to a challenge in October, share, but let's see you show up every day for the month of October. Fit check, everyone. Fit check, if you're unfamiliar, is when I stand back there and I show you what I look like physically. I will stand back there and show you what I look like, whether I am feeling bloated or whether I'm feeling lean. I ate yesterday. I'm up about 3 pounds, which is actually pretty low. So I'm still able to wear these smaller shirts and still feel pretty lean even after eating about 3,000 calories yesterday. But I stand up there and I show you what I look like physically because it's important for me to be accountable. I don't want to hide. I don't want to pretend that I didn't eat that food and I'm not bloated. I don't want to keep it a secret. I want to be completely transparent and accountable with all of you because it's what keeps me going. I have been overweight my entire life. As a child, in my adolescent years, in my 20s, in my teenage years, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have been as heavy as 235 pounds at 5'3". I'm short. As heavy as 235 and as low as 125. So 110-pound difference in between. Currently, I'm at around 145 pounds, usually on my fasted days, on the lower end of that. And on the days after I refeed, like today, I was 148 pounds. But hopefully, as I strive for my goals in October to be in a caloric deficit of 10,000 calories to shed an additional 3 extra pounds of body fat, my hope is that I'll be more in the high 130s and low 140s. I would love to see myself at a range of like 137 to 143, then 143 to 149. So let's go ahead. We'll do fit check. Currently, I'm wearing a size extra large boy shirt and I have extra small shorts on. These shorts are even smaller than a 28 waist. These shorts are even, I mean, they're loose on me. There's room in these shorts and these are extra small. These are smaller than a 28 size waist. Yeah, we'll move this okay, we'll move it. So, front shot, side, rear, side. And again, I'm up about 3 pounds right now. I am feeling a little bloated at the moment. I do wear a compressed shirt underneath. As you see me grab at either fat or loose skin or a combination of both. So I know that I still have additional weight to lose. How long before I get to my goal has yet to be seen. But here's the thing too, I'm in no rush. I'm not trying to fight the clock. I'm very happy with where I'm at lately. I'm even just happier that I'm in a place now where I'm starting to realize that I have a lot more control in my life. And that's big for me. That's big for me to say I have a lot of control in many of the facets of my life. That's something that if you asked me that 2 years ago, there's no way. My life was out of control 2 years ago. I showed all those pictures of me as a kid and to where I'm at now because I just want you to know that it's not like I just gained this weight recently. I show all those pictures because it's also a reminder that I didn't lose that weight through medication. I didn't lose that weight through injections, through weight loss surgery. I've lost all that weight and kept it off for almost 2 years now through fasting, through working on good, healthy habits, through eating better, through making mindful choices. And also having days where I overeat, where I go on vacation. You all saw me stand back there and see what I look like. I was on vacation for almost a month not too long ago. I've been on week-long vacations. I've eaten back-to-back days. There are days where I felt burnt out. There are days where I didn't show up. There were days that I actually binged. I've had a lot of bad days, but they don't outnumber the good days. And 99.9% of that time, I show up. That is the only difference between you and me, is that I continue to show up. I continue to work on every single weight loss lever. I want that for you. I want you to show up. I want you to work on every weight loss lever. I want you to understand that that's all it takes. It's not rocket science. There isn't a special magic formula to do this. It takes work, and it does take dedication, and it takes discipline, and it just takes showing up every day. So, okay, I'll do Q&A. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, that's question and answer. If you have a question, please feel free to ask. I will answer to the best of my ability. If you have anything that you want to share, please feel free to share. I'd be happy to share what I can during that time. But we're about an hour and a half in, and I still have other work to do, so we can't make this run too long. In the meantime, though, if any of you are looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you are looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We'll do a video call, a video chat, whatever you want to call it. We can put a game plan and a strategy together. We can talk about what your goals are, and I will do my very best to get you to your goals, to keep you accountable, to make you realize that this isn't just about fasting forever or eating the best or eating some fad or gimmicky way, but instead to work on your good, healthy habits and break your bad, toxic ones. You can go to finallyfasting.com. You could also just go there if you want to get some merch like this sticker or this sticker with my squeaky chair. I have hats there too if you're interested. But also, if you want to support in a different way, you can go to the link in this live stream. If you go to the link in this live stream, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. I lost my train of thought there for a second. If you were to join and support me in that way, you'll get a special badge next to your name in these live streams. You can probably see it for people who are members. You'll get your name on the intros to these live streams. You get to use custom emoji like this one. And if you join the higher tier group, the autophagy tier group, we will have, or if you join that group, you get to join in on the weekly live streams every Wednesday, either late afternoon or evening for now until I'm more settled after I move. But that's a group coaching session where we all share a group spreadsheet and share our goals and objectives for the week. So you could check the link in the live stream if you want to support in that way, but that's my shameless plug for today. Okay. Questions? I'm going to scroll up here just to see if I missed anything. Happy Bunny says, I'm very bad with starting and giving up. I'd like to show up and make it to the end of the month. I would love that for you, Happy Bunny. I guess my ideal is clean eating, workout, fast daily, and just wake up a different person. Here's the honest truth to that. You are capable of doing that. you are capable of doing all of these goals. All that it takes from you is to be accountable. When you talk about being bad with starting and giving up, I mean, I can relate because that's literally been me for decades. And the only thing that, for me at least, that I found was successful for me was to just show up and share the good with the bad. Be accountable for yourself even on the bad days. For you, clean eating, you know what that looks like. You don't need help when it comes to that. Whole foods, eating foods that are natural, clean eating. Working out, getting walks in, doing some strength training, it's not rocket science either. And if you ever needed help when it comes to things like lifting weights or doing body weight exercises, I think that's where YouTube can be very helpful as well. And then fasting daily, remember, we all fast. If you go to sleep, you fast. It's just a matter of, will you continue to fast after you wake up? And will you start fasting a little bit before you go to bed? Most of us do anyway, especially after dinner. So waking up a different person, I mean, I think you'll realize how much you change as a person if you can show up for yourself every day. I'd love to see you get to your goals. So if anything, keep me posted. Keep me posted on a day-to-day basis or whenever you're able to show up. I think that's just a good start for many of us. You already know what you need to do health-wise. For anybody who's watching this, you already know what good, healthy habits look like. It's just a means of implementing them every day. Implementing them even if they're not implemented well. Implementing them and trying instead of just giving up and saying, time to start over. Let it be the last time you start over. Keep me posted. Okay. I love that, Maggie. Please do that. I'll be here October 31st to tell you I did it. I love that. I love that. Please do that. What's up, Monkey King? Am I a Beetlejuice fan? I mean, I've watched it. I watched the sequel. The sequel wasn't that good. The first one, though, I liked it. Let's see. Maggie beat Aisha to the punch. Maggie says, what time will you live stream tomorrow? Let me check. My calendar. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wednesday? Oh, tomorrow's the 1st. Okay, I have a call tomorrow. I would say probably around the same, no, not this late. I would say probably, well, no, yeah, because we're already an hour and a half in. I would say around the same time, around 1:30 to 2 p.m. is my guess, because that's when I have some time in here to do that. So I'd say around 1:30 Central to 2 p.m. Central. Aisha says, thanks for asking, Maggie. I'm a little bit behind in the stream today. No worries, no worries. So yeah, around that time. That might be it, I think. Tanya says, my goal for October is to keep doing dry fasting and working out every day. Keep me posted, Tanya. Let me know how that goes for you. How long are you dry fasting for? I'm just curious. Is it like OMAD dry fasting? Are you extended dry fasting? Keep me posted. I think that might be it for today. We're already an hour and a half plus in here. So we're going to call it. Before I shut things down, a special thanks to Miss Peaceful One And Jack, for the donations today, thank you for the additional support. It means a lot to me. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam members who are part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you for supporting me as well. For everybody here today, for everybody to share their goals, for everybody to be kind and helpful to each other, I appreciate you so much. Let's do this again tomorrow. Remember, you're not alone on your journey. We're doing this together. Appreciate you. Tomorrow's a new month. If tomorrow is the first day that you're starting, let it be the last. Let this be a continuous journey for you. Let this be a reminder that your journey never ends. It's pointless to start over. It's about working on good, healthy habits and breaking bad, toxic ones. All right, everyone, that's it for me. I'm trying to remove stuff here so I can properly transition this to the outro. So here's my obligatory wave. Goodbye. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone.